Hello guys, I'm Dheeraj. Let's begin 1.2. Nature of science. So nature of science refers to how science works, how scientific knowledge is developed, and what kind of knowledge science produces. So in simple words, we can say that nature of science means it explains the behavior and characteristics of science. So, in the previous video 1.1, we looked at the definition of science. But how science functions is we look at it now. So, nature of science refers to the characteristics of scientific knowledge and processes through which science develops. So, here the characteristics are the features which we already discussed in 1.1. So, we will see the characteristics or features in detail now. So if you remember, the first one was science is empirical. Empirical means science is based on observation, based on experiments, not based on imagination or belief. So it is self-explanatory. For example, water boils at 100 degrees Celsius is accepted because it is observed and tested, not because just someone believed it. Okay, so science accepts only evidence. So there is an evidence that water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. That's why it is called science. It is a concept of science. So if any concept if it is observable or if it is observed and tested, experimented, then it is science. That is the first feature or characteristic of science, empirical. Next, science is systematic. So systematic means science follows step-by-step procedures. Now that step-by-step procedure is called a method. There is a method. So the method is called the scientific method. Okay. So it is a step-by-step procedure. The science follows step-by-step procedures. There is a method in science which is called scientific method. So we already saw the steps which include observation, hypothesis, experiment, conclusion. So observation, you all know that, and hypothesis is making an intelligent guess based on observation and then by experimentation. So making an intelligent guess. So after observing, you just don't randomly guess. You think a lot and you intelligently guess what's happening, what you saw. Then eventually you do an experiment and finally you come to a conclusion. So remember that science never jumps to conclusions. There is a step-by-step process, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So there is no direct conclusion. Third characteristic is science is objective. So objective means free from personal bias. Same result for everyone under same conditions. So if there is for example, let us see, if two scientists perform the same experiment correctly, the result should be the same. So it is objective. So feelings, likes, dislikes have no place in science. It does not differ from person to person. If a result has to come, it will be same for any person. So that is called objective. So science does not have anything to do with feelings, likes and dislikes. Fourth characteristic or nature of science is logical. Logical means it is based on logic, means it is based on reasoning. So in the step-by-step process, the conclusion comes at the last. So conclusions are not drawn directly, they are drawn using logic and no emotions, not emotions. Let us see the example. If metals expand on heating and iron is a metal, then iron will expand on heating. So there is a logic behind this. That's why we come to a conclusion. There is no emotion involved. So if iron is a metal and if metals expand on heating, so then iron will obviously expand on heating. So the reason is logical, is what I want to say. Fifth characteristic is science is verifiable. Verifiable means scientific results can be tested again, and anyone can verify the result by repeating the experiment. If something cannot be tested or verified, it is not scientific. So when you're conducting an experiment and you're getting a scientific result, it can be tested multiple times, and anyone can verify the result by repeating the experiment. If you want to know whether it is the right result or wrong, you can do it by redoing the experiment. Okay, so it is verifiable. Sixth characteristic is science is tentative. So tentative means scientific knowledge is not final. It can change with new evidence. For suppose, earlier people believed that atom was indivisible. Later subatomic particles were discovered. So there is science in each and every process. At one point of time it was true and maybe they thought it was final, but later science corrects itself. So it is an everyday, the science develops. So it is tentative, temporary. So daily we can expect a change, not daily, but we do see a change. So with new evidence there is a new change. Seventh characteristic is science is dynamic. So what is dynamic? Dynamic is not fixed, ever growing. New discoveries keep adding to scientific knowledge. So there is no rule as such in science. It is not fixed. So science is not fixed like a rule book. So don't get confused. Science is not based on faith. Science is not based on superstition. Science is not based on personal belief. Science is not unchangeable, it is changeable. So don't get confused with these statements. So in the definition of science, we got to know what science is. In the nature of science or characteristic of science, we saw how science works. Thank you.